Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. This is gonna be the most cringiest video I've ever created, and this is my drawings from my childhood when I was around 5 or maybe 6 years old. Since it's Christmas and New Year's time, people will be celebrating these holidays, I thought that I need to record something funny, something that has to do with magic, with fairy tale. I mean, we all need miracles sometimes, so I'll give you miracles. This sounded like a threat, but you will see what I'm talking about. So, let's start reviewing what I created when I was a kid. Right now I know how to paint, but at that time I had no clue. Everything is written in Russian, because this is my native language, I didn't know English. But as you can see, for some reason, I wrote Boom series. I have no idea what is Boom and why my series of my books had the name Boom, but for some reason I knew this English word, and this is why I decided to name it. Probably because I thought that if I wouldn't use English word, then somehow it would sound much better. I don't know what my logic was behind the naming this. Here is the title, says Mermaid, or The Mermaid. When I was drawing it, I was writing everything in Russian and I was making a lot of mistakes, and there was very strange phrases. Unfortunately, I cannot translate all of them, but this is perfect. So let's begin. As you can see, there's a girl, little kid, she's mermaid on the swings underwater, and she found a necklace and she says, "How beautiful!" She decided to wear a necklace and she started transforming, and she says, and she lost her ability to breathe underwater, and she says after that she threw her on the shore and she was lying there. And I remind you that she's a kid, because as you can see here, the proof that she was a kid, because there was no boobs there. And for some reason she's not wearing a bra, but never mind. I probably was looking in the mirror at myself and I was a kid and I was drawing what I saw. So the mermaid is lying on the shore, and at that time I realized that she was too young and she could not marry anyone. But since it's a fairy tale and I grew up watching fairy tales and cartoons, Disney cartoons, and many other stories for girls, it's always end up in marriage. The prince met princess and they married. This is, and you would see this in every book. This was the end. At this time I didn't know that fairy tales can be different. I could use some imagination and create something more adventurous, more fun, but it was like this because. And at that time I was watching a lot of Barbie movies, but I will talk about it later. Probably it influenced me too. So since I realized that she's a little kid and she cannot marry anyone because she's a kid, 5 years later she is already 18. Apparently she was lying on the shore all this time, naked, because she transferred from being mermaid and she's still naked. She was lying for 5 years on the shore, and suddenly there is Prince who says here, "Marry me," and she says, "Sure." And this is the end. Yeah. Oh no, I should probably never show this on the internet. I have so many questions and not so much answers, but we started reviewing this. So let me show you another fairy tale. This was Snow White. Apparently, at some point I realized that I'm not very good at creating fairy tales from imagination, so I was just reading regular fairy tales and making comics based on this. So here is Snow White. I love how I was drawing it. This is perfect. Yeah, we all started from something. So here's a Snow White, and she has ropes attached to her wrists, and there was some evil witch, and she made a hole in the ground and put her underground. She's and she is screaming, "Ah!" And there are fairies who is attacking evil fishes and other creatures, because I think that evil witch wanted to kill Snow White. Okay. One of the fairies took a wooden stick and kicked evil witch evil witch's head, so she knocked out her, or maybe this evil witch died, I don't know. So they saved Snow White and lifted her, and Snow White says, "Thank you." Then she started to collect flowers, and then, of course, there's Prince on a white horse, I assume. Prince hid under the rock. Prince hid under the rock, but he looks like he's a snail. I hate snails, but and he has a heart in his eyes. I think he fell in love with her when she was collecting flowers. She's taken these flowers somewhere, and then he creeps to her, and it's like, and then they married. Oh, okay. Next, there's Rapunzel. Again, Boom series. As you can see, this is the best series you ever seen in your life. So I'm pretty sure that this this small book was influenced by Barbie the Rapunzel. There was a movie, and I want to attach one of my favorite scenes at the moment. This.
You're useless.
Give him to me.
So there was a little Rapunzel, says Rapunzel, and there are a lot of birthday cards that say to my favorite daughter, happy birthday, and something else. I cannot read what I wrote there. And as you can see, Rapunzel grew up, and she became a girl. Meaning she grew up. An evil witch named Gothel kidnapped the girl. She took her into the tower and created a magical wall to prevent her from escape. But Rapunzel found a way how to escape. She escaped. There's birds. She escaped from this from underground. And then she saw a little girl. I think she saw the Snow White from the previous book, who fallen into the hole. So she saw this girl and was trying to save her. But the evil witch appeared and put a spell on the Rapunzel. And the prince says, "Oh no, you became a stone. You can break the spell if you would I think she wanted to say, if you would kiss me." Prince attacked evil witch and then kissed Rapunzel. And then he says, "Will you marry me?" with a lot of mistakes. And she says, "Okay." And Fairy created a dress, and now Rapunzel became even more beautiful than she was before. Look at this beautiful face. And they married. Honestly, I'm getting bored of this same ending, because I know how all these stories will end. Why couldn't she just bring the prince and go travel around the world? Why is this always this marriage and that's it? And the story. I don't know, this is boring. There are 3 mermaids named Water, River, and the Sea. I have no idea why I had this logic by creating these names, because I could name one of them something like lake, river and sea, but for some reason it's water, river and sea. I assume these two were water from river and sea, and they lived from river and sea, and she maybe lived in a swimming pool. I don't know. As you can see, I'm using pens here. So if there are Russian watching me, you can attack. All of you can attack me in the comments, because I see this mistake, and this is unforgivable mistake. If I could go back in time and punch myself, I would do that for this mistake. Once upon a time, there were 3 mermaids. One lived in water, other in the sea, and other in the river. This is Christy. She says, "Yoo-hoo, let's swim!" Barbie and Teresa. As you can see, I was influenced by Barbie dolls. I even have the same name that the dolls had. Once upon a time, the evil witch, that I assumed was Ursula, said, "All mermaids will go into the jar," and she put all the 3 mermaids in the same jar. Evil witch says, "Ha!" and mermaid says, "Oh no! Oh god, help!" As you can see, 2 of them were Russian and 1 of them were English speaking, which is very interesting. Probably this is the only word I knew in English at that time, so one of them says, "Help." And then, after screaming, they realize that there is no point in screaming, and they start introducing to each other. One says, "I'm Christy," other says, "I'm Barbie," and the other, "I'm Teresa." And all of a sudden, somehow the jar broken. We are people now. And of course they all meet their love interest, says hello, hi, and evil witch is angry and she is screaming, "Oh no!" And somehow she ended up in a jar. Maybe she was too sad and too angry that she decided that she will live in a jar. And it says the end. Ballerina named Clara. Boom series. Plot twist. Clara was an Indian girl, so she came to her friend. Her friend said, "We should join the ballet." Clara was looking for something some things in the box. I have no idea what she's looking for. And then, of course, there's evil witch, and she says, "Clara, hehehe." And she put a spell on her. And Clara says, "Oh no, I'm flying!" And the evil witch disappeared with saying, "Ha, ho, he, ha, hoo, ha, he." This was a laugh, evil laugh. 2 hours later, Clara was dancing on the stage, and for some reason she has heels, but she's ballerina. I have no idea why she has heels, and everyone is like, "Bravo, good job, what a wonderful ballerina." And ballerina says, "Oh no, I hope no one is noticing that I'm flying." And then someone gave her flowers, and of course proposed her and kissed her, and spell disappeared, and she became normal walking human again, dancing ballerina. Okay, this story was better than previous ones, because I at least was trying to create an interesting plot. Okay, the next book says Aurora and Fairies. Fairies says to Aurora, Aurora's looking in the mirror, and Fairies told her, "Aurora, you should hurry for the ball." And she says, "Hey, get off of me!" She does this, pooh, and at Fairies, and Fairies became very angry at her and put a spell on her, and she says, "Oh no, I'm getting tired," and she fell asleep. And they said, this is because this is your punishment for spitting saliva in our face. And then fairy says, wait a second, if she is asleep, who is gonna go for dancing? And the other fairy says, her reflection will go to the ball. And all of them like, yay! All fairies. And then reflection went to the ball. But it was very strange and looked nothing like Aurora. Meaning her personality was nothing like Aurora's personality. 5 minutes later, on the ball, reflection of Aurora says, "Hi, Prince," and start dancing like crazy. Someone has a radio there, and Prince says, "What's wrong with her?" Half hours later, original Aurora woke up. She looks in the mirror and asks fairies, "Where is my reflection?" And they answer her, "It's dancing on the ball." And she's asked, "How?" And then fairies took a reflection in the mirror again, and then normal Aurora met Prince, and they became together. And I have a question for myself. Imagine you're a prince and you met a woman. Let's say she was pretty, but she was very weird. She was dancing to the radio like crazy when no one knew these moves. I don't know, maybe she was a swing dancer and everyone were dancing something else. So, and then they took reflection and put it into the mirror and dropped it into the mirror. And then the same girl that looks like the reflection appeared. If I would be prince, I would say something like, "Oh no, this crazy! Oh no, this crazy again! I thought we dropped her in the mirror." But for some reason, they danced together. I don't understand my logic in this fairy tales. Bad Princess Era, colored. This princess named Ira says, "Come on, give me a cocktail right now." And everyone was so tired from this princess, because all the time, all the cocktails were not right for her, and she didn't like any dresses that everyone suggested to her. And once upon a time, she met an old lady, and the lady said, "Girl, could you give me a glass of water, please?" And she says, "Ha, no, you old bitch." That's not what she said, but I don't know what Princess Leia did, but something similar to this. And all of a sudden, old woman became a young witch, and she says, "I'm not old bitch, and for your character and for your personality, you would be banished." She made her a mermaid. There's Prince. He kissed her. They married, and then Ira's daughter grew up, and then her daughter has a daughter, and then Ira died. Something fun! Finally something fun is happening in my fairy tales. Ira died, and her soul was looking at her granddaughter from the cloud. The end. I don't know what to say. Yes, these drawings are ridiculous, but my writing was worse than this. You know, sometimes I'm saying something like, people don't change, but then I read what I was writing, and I look at my old drawings, and I think people do change sometimes, because I look at this and I think, what is this? And as you can see, I was heavily influenced by Disney cartoons, fairy tales, and Barbie movies, and all of these tales had the same ending, and all of them were very predictable. And not only they were predictable, I was stealing some elements from the cartoons that already existed. I don't know if some of you were laughing when you watching. I don't know if any of you watched this till the end. So I hope I created some magical mood for you, some miracles appeared to you. Maybe you have more magic in your life after seeing this, because you know how they say, if you see something you cannot unsee it. So this is, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a magical mood right now, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye.